Hello friends, and welcome to the Hanged Man in the Moon. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased to meet you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I'm truly honored. Friends, if you are a returning visitor, you know that this is my mini-series, I'm calling it that now, in which I am diving into a very unique and specific deck called the Tarot of the Holy Light, which is a deck created by Christine Payne-Towler, and it is in the continental tarot tradition. And as such, it is different from the kind of deck that I have been used to for many, many years. The Smith-Waite deck, the Rider-Waite-Smith. And also a little bit the Thoth. The decks that are based on the Golden Dawn traditions, right? I've also been studying Tarot de Marseille, which has helped me a lot. But this is a very different deck. And so what I do every day is I pick one card from the deck I'm studying, Tarot of the Holy Light, and I look at it. And I acknowledge the meanings that come to my mind from my study of other systems. And I look at that. I acknowledge those other meanings. And to help me unpack the card I drew from Tarot of the Holy Light, I picked 3 cards from the Light Seers Tarot. I've been calling it the Light Seekers Tarot. It's the Light Seers Tarot. One card is the significance of the card I drew to my day. The second card is perhaps the obstacle to that. And the third card is the advice. Now, I've got all that pulled out. So, first, let me show you the card that came up for me today. It was the Page of Discs, upright. Now, when I think of the Page of Discs from my studies, I immediately think of the young student of the practical. Yeah, not the student of theories like a Page of Swords might be, but the student of the practical, the one who's out there experimenting with things, discovering things, turning over the rocks, seeing what's underneath them. That kind of a student, wanting to find out things, learn things, discover opportunities, and discover ways of helping those opportunities develop. Now also, I've done a little bit of studying of this deck before I started working with it. And I also know from my studies that the pages in this deck serve the 2 purposes, if we want to divide them in large clumps. One of them is they are the season of their suit. So this is winter. You can see this in backwards. It says winter. The discs are the winter seasons. And they're also the servants of the queen. Yeah, they're the ones who go out and carry out the queen's instructions in the world. So, remembering that, of course, my first thinking about the Queen is the Queen of Pentacles in the Smith-Coleman deck, which is the nurturer, the provider. So is this the page who goes out and does the work of providing for the people? Who does the work of nurturing? I don't really think so. Look at that face. Is that a nurturing face? Is that a providing face? Is that a face of, here, eat some more, there's plenty kind of face? I don't think so. Then I think of winter. What does winter mean to me? Winter is the season. Autumn is harvesting, gathering, yeah, cutting off trimming down, pruning down to the bare essentials. Winter is the time when things stop, right? But not completely, because underneath the ground there are seeds that are beginning and getting ready to germinate. So it's a time of preparation as well as, I suppose, a time of endings. So those are the things that are rambling around, rolling around in my mind as I look at this card and I see this page really does not look happy. This looks like a very aggressive, angry page to me. The sun doesn't even look that happy. The moon doesn't look that happy. Now the landscape is very stark. This dragon, one way or the other, yeah, it could be a playful dragon. This could be like a puppy rolling around on the ground trying to get attention, but this dragon could also be a little grumpy too, for all I know. So those are the things that are rolling around in my mind. And so I pulled 3 cards from the Light Seers Tarot. And let me show them to you right now. So you saw the three cards were the Nine of Swords, like I said, not a happy card, reflecting not such a happy page. Queen of Cups, and the Sun. Now, I don't know if you were here with me yesterday, or whenever the previous video became visible for you. Uploading that video took a long time. It took almost 20 hours to upload that previous video because of where I am on a ship in the middle of the ocean. So, in that video, I got the Ace of Cups, and my interpretation of that Ace of Cups from the Light Seer's Tarot was heart magic. So, having the Queen of Cups show up in today's reading seemed kind of magical. And then the Sun card. The Sun card was also magical. So, let me show you what I was thinking in relation to that page. That page, unhappy looking page, right? Could be a source of worry, could be a source of anxiety, of difficult sleep. I had a very difficult sleep, I can tell you that. That's why I'm tired, and I'm trying to do this a little bit early today. I had a very difficult sleep last night. So it could be nightmares. Nine of Swords could be worries, anxieties, all that mind stuff. Not the Ten of Swords, but still, all that mind stuff of the nine. And here we see a person bent over, head buried in their face, with all these screeching birds above, and just overwhelmed with fears, perhaps. Kind of like the birds in the movie, right? The obstacle to that was the Queen of Cups. And that kind of makes sense, right? The obstacle to all this anxiety could be letting the emotional connection be there. Overcoming the anxiety by connecting with people. Emotionally taking care of, feeding self and feeding the others. The Queen of Cups is also the ultimate intuitive, yeah? Connected with intuition, connected with the flow of unconscious wisdom, knowledge, information. And that could counteract that very, very ego-centered fear, anxiety of the Nine of Swords. Makes perfect sense, right? And so the advice was, here comes the sun, that was to experience the sun. And what a perfect antidote to what this could be, right? From what I was thinking of winter, cold. Yeah. The advice is, even here, the sun is there, yeah? Feel the sun. Put conscious, not effort, but conscious acuity, focus the mind on the sun. We can always do that. We can always do that. And this potential success, the potential for success, the potential for joy, the potential for dancing in the fields. And whether we are experiencing it now, that potential is still there, right? So, let me read from the book now. This is what the Page of the Swords is as intended. A few things, so stick with me, okay? Now, starting from about the beginning. Remember that face, that face, that wide mouth of like a banshee mouth to me. His voice is thunder, and his pineal is lodestone. So pineal, that third eye, is lodestone. Wherever he gives voice, whatever he gives voice to inevitably comes to pass. Right? Now, whatever he gives voice to, he could give voice to this, then it'll come to pass, right? But the advice is this. He could give voice to this, which could come to pass. The page declares that there is no more time to start there is no, let me try that again. The page declares that there is no more time to waste. One must now act now, else lose the chance. His drumbeat demands that one speak now or forever hold your peace. So there's an immediacy to this. Yeah, it's intentional. There's intention here, speaking intention into manifestation, but it's a now thing. It has to happen now. An upright page needs to be read as a righteous agent of change, a sincere soul operating in good faith, representing the law of the land. Now, the law of the land, the Queen's law, representing the Queen's law, but as a righteous agent of change. Yeah? Change. This winter really is a season of change, right? From the previous growth and abundance into the next cycle of growth. The disc page is the announcer of endings, ending of the fall, yeah, the ending of the harvest, of the last harvest, as in the final scene of a play or opera. By studying the habits and beliefs of everyone around him, the disc page uses the natural tendencies of the overall situation to divine results without appearing to lift a finger. I don't know if you've ever heard this from like the Tao Te Ching. Now, the master does nothing and yet leaves nothing unaccomplished. That comes to mind here. Time is his ally. Everything, there's an immediacy to it, but it's not an immediacy of panic of I gotta get it done. There's an immediacy of make the choice, make the decision, and know that that decision will manifest. One could say he stands at the doorway through which resources and talent must pass to reach the Queen. So there's another aspect of doorway, of portal, being the portal for things to pass through. Now here we get back to perhaps one of the Rider-Waite-Smith meanings. The page of discs is historically the student of abundance, like I was saying. Yeah? This person's attention is focused on learning the natural laws that pertain to increase, multiplication, compounding, and all forms of growth in whatever aspect. It could be financial, it could be mathematical, it could be in like farming, it could in any area that things grow, money grows, plants grow, love could grow, I suppose. Practical information of all kinds sticks to this page. So he's still the learner, right? And makes him a walking encyclopedia of little-known facts. So perhaps also the trivia king, the trivia queen king. So those are the things that the Page of Pentacles refer to in this deck. So what was my day like? Well, we're in quarantine. And this has been a day of anxiety, really. Not from my own personal well-being, but the well-being of my mother. My mom's not doing so well. She was doing really poorly this morning. Got better in the afternoon, but then feeling pretty badly again in the evening. There are multiple opportunities for anxiety today. Not only my mother, there are things happening online. There were things not happening online. I could have been really, really anxious about that video not uploading today, or taking so long to upload. There are many things that were potential anxiety, and I'm not saying that I passed over them all. I felt anxiety I feel anxiety for my mother, her well-being. However, I think I have been able to mostly, because I was remembering that Ace of Cups, I was remembering that heart magic. I keep reaching for, okay, feeling my way, feeling what is it that she is experiencing, for example. How can I, in understanding the way she's feeling relate back. It's a very tricky thing. It's a difficult thing because my mom is also experiencing dementia, and our relationship has always been verbal. And now that it's less verbal, I'm using more physical contact, yes. And I'm emotively trying to, I want to stop saying trying to, I'm emotively connecting with her. But there are times when she's feeling better that she starts feeling rebellious a little bit. Of things that, like, eat this before you have any chocolate, for example. Yeah, drink water so that your coughing can be reduced. All of those things, those taking care of you kinds of things. Sometimes when she starts feeling better, she starts rebelling, and then I start getting anxious. And so I kept remembering, move into the water, so to speak, move into the water. And again, this has helped me as well. Having that advice, let me show you what the day outside was like right now. So that was a view from outside my balcony all day today. No sun visible, barely a horizon visible, frankly. It was a foggy day at sea with nothing out there. But frankly, I like that. I really do like that. You might think I'm weird, I'm bizarre, I like that. However, even in all that grayness, there's still the potential of the sun. Because the sun is where? Now, in the Hermetic traditions, when we associate planets with the chakras, yeah, the heart is the sun. And that was something I was reading and refreshing myself, refreshing in my mind today. The heart is the locus of the planet, the sun. And so, yeah, that heart is the advice for today, was the advice today. And I assume will probably continue to be the advice for tomorrow. But there's still this thing here, this potential that I don't know that I've completely mastered or embodied, that speaking things into reality. That the time is now. And maybe I have done some of that. Maybe I've done some of that not when my video was uploaded and I got back online. That's an entirely different story about internet connection and the ship today. There are no TV channels because the data stream is so weak where we are. Yeah, there's no TV, so even more people on the ship want to be on the internet, so even that slows everything down. So, so this. When I got back online, there were some instances where I think I was able to open to speaking things into being, in a sense. Maybe. We'll see how things work out. There were also a couple of moments when I got a little bit worried that I might be stepping into a little bit of a scam or something, but then I thought, no. Follow the heart, keep the sun, and we're moving in the right direction. Speaking things into being. I didn't know that then, but speaking things into being. Speaking of speaking things into being, 2 days running, very interesting side note. My mother sees my cards, and she finally asked me yesterday, and again today, dementia, and again today, that if I was reading cards. And I said, yes. And she said, like mama? So she means like my grandmother, like her mother. Now, my mother's relationship with my grandmother at the time, when she was young, was not antagonistic, but struggle. Frictive, but still very, very dependent because my grandmother took care of me when my mother was working. So there was friction, but there was dependence. And then when my grandma passed away, all of that changed. And my mom beatified my grandmother. My mom now remembers my grandmother as a saint, which is wonderful. It's perfect. Especially now that my mom's getting older, she calls out for her mother. Everything that she remembers about her mother and everything that her mother did now has a special glow of sanctity about it. So when she said, "You're reading cards like Mama did," I thought, oh, okay, so I guess I'm getting the stamp of approval now. Which is not that I never had it before, but not that I was disapproved of before, but this is new. That feeling of, okay, so what I'm doing actually might be good in my mom's eye. So that was interesting. That was fascinating. And that gave me a little bit more hope, perhaps. My grandmother did read cards. She never read when around me, but she had cards in her home. She stopped reading because she scared herself. She read and predicted somebody's death, and that made her say, "Oh, no more, no more." But according to my mom, my grandma read cards pretty well. I didn't see that, but according to my mom, even with her dementia, she's got some pretty good memory. She remembers that, and having her telling me that twice in a row, yesterday and today, that was very meaningful for me. That was very, very meaningful for me. So I think I'm going to stop here. I think I'm rambling. Quarantine brain. So, friends, if you're still with me, hit the thumbs up button so that YouTube knows that you liked it and that other people might like it, and it draws more people, more eyes to the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and hit the alarm bell so you get notifications of when I upload videos. I try to do one a day, but like I said, internet connection is as it is. And comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Tell me what you think. And if you want a reading, I've got my link to Instagram, but I've also got a brand new email account. If you want, you can email me and we can set up a private reading for you. Maybe that will be a little bit easier. So my new email address is down there in the description box below. And friends, now, as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.